watch for those fires. Explosions make fires too. Explosions make accidental fires too. And then, oops, we don't know how that happened. And then you look into it.
Y'all won't believe who just dropped some major bombshells about those devastating LA fires. Katt Williams has stormed into the conversation, and honey, he's bringing receipts that might just blow this whole Diddy investigation wide open. While everyone else seems to have moved on from those terrible fires, the victims, those poor families whose lives were turned upside down, they're still desperately searching for answers. And let me tell you, the theories that are coming out, some are absolutely wild, but others will make your jaw drop. Like, imagine this. Some people are whispering that certain Hollywood A-listers might have orchestrated these fires to destroy evidence linking them to the Diddy scandal. But here's the real tea. There are rumors flying around that Diddy himself might have orchestrated the whole thing from behind bars. I mean, there's literally leaked footage of him making these super cryptic phone calls that's spreading like wildfire online. Katt's not buying any coincidences, and he's on a mission to expose Diddy's alleged role in this catastrophe.
This morning, the firestorm officials had feared becoming a reality, with a third out-of-control wildfire exploding overnight in the Los Angeles area.
At the end of the day, I mean, who's ready for something like this?
Overnight, flames reaching the iconic Malibu neighborhood and its beachfront homes. In the coastal neighborhood Pacific Palisades, multiple homes completely engulfed in flames, with desperate residents rushing to get out. Planes flying above the area, capturing the massive reach of the inferno.
Listen, here's the thing that's got everyone talking. Diddy was caught speaking in code about getting rid of evidence, and then, bam! Just days later, Los Angeles erupts in flames like we've never seen before. Coincidence? Please. But wait, it gets even juicier. The way these fires spread, totally suspicious. Some celebrity homes were completely destroyed, while others right next door didn't even get a scratch. And you'll never guess who's speaking up about this. Catherine Austin Fitts' darling. She's not just any regular commentator. She used to be the U.S. Assistant Secretary of Housing and Urban Development under Bush Sr. On her podcast, she spilled some serious tea about why certain celebrities connected to Diddy mysteriously managed to keep their mansions intact while their neighbors lost everything. According to her, these fires might just be a massive cover-up for some absolutely horrific things that some of our favorite celebrities and politicians have been up to.
What I want to see, what I usually look at in situations like this is I look at the patterns of who got wiped out and how. And one of the first questions, I'll be honest, that I'm going to look at when I look at some of the communities involved is how many of the homeowners were on the P. Diddy list.
Yeah, I think that's on everyone's mind, to be honest. Let's be honest.
Now, we absolutely need to talk about this infamous Diddy list that Fitz mentioned. It's been the hottest gossip since they raided Diddy's properties back in May 2024. While nothing's officially confirmed, the names being whispered will make your head spin. We're talking megastars like Jay-Z, Beyonce, J-Lo, Kevin Hart, Usher, Oprah, Ashton Kutcher, and Ellen DeGeneres. And honey, that's just scratching the surface. The list supposedly goes on, including celebrities from every tier of Hollywood. But Fitz didn't stop there. She drew this shocking parallel to the Franklin scandal from 1988, where all these big-shot Nebraska politicians and business leaders were allegedly involved in this absolutely horrific situation. Her point? If they could sweep that under the rug back then, imagine what they could cover up now.
He's been a subscriber for many years, Polly, and for the first time in his life, he read the Franklin cover-up last week. And I spoke to him last weekend, and he said, I keep hearing you, he said, you get frustrated because people don't understand the importance of financial transaction freedom to their lives. And I hear you keep telling people who say, well, I don't have many assets, and if they take my assets, I don't care. And I hear you telling people, wait a minute, they can take your children. They can mandate health treatments to your children, and they can literally take your treatment. And he said, you need to understand that even though I've been a subscriber for 10 years, I didn't understand what you were saying. And he said, I don't think most people understand what you're saying. But I read the Franklin cover-up, which is one of the best, highly documented cases of a pedophilia ring in America. And he said, now I understand what you mean. Now I understand what you mean when you say they'll take your children, and what that really means, and why financial transaction freedom is so very important to me and to you, because we cannot allow that to happen. So he said, this is the first time that it really got to be personal. It really touched me in an intimate and visceral way. And, I've seen dreadful things done in the interest of covering up the pedophilia rings. And this is likely to include, whenever you do an operation this big, you stack functions. So there's a lot of stacking functions going on, but it wouldn't surprise me if pedophilia is one of those functions that's getting stacked here.
But hold on to your seats, because this story just gets more explosive. Right when Catherine Fitz's revelations were setting social media on fire, guess what resurfaced? Those bone-chilling allegations from Ally Carter about Diddy started making the rounds again. Remember when she broke the internet last year with those shocking videos?
Me in containers with his shipment of kids. There were kids in there that didn't speak English. There were kids that were sick and that were already dying. There were babies. There were babies that were 6 years old, and I'll never forget them just crying, and everybody was just staring at them. Everybody was just staring at each other. Nobody knew whether or not to move. I was freaked out. And I got up and I held her. And they opened the truck and they took her from me. Because they said she was already sick. And they killed her. Her name was Bailey.
But I was a kid. And all of this situation, everything that we're talking about, everything that I've been talking about, I was under the age of 18. Let's start there. Okay? I was sold a lot in foster care. A lot of stuff happened in my life with the family I was with. Okay? CPS reports go back to 3 months old. I remember 4 years old, and everything took off from there. All right? So never in my life did a lot of the stuff seem wrong until I met this twin of mine. Nothing seemed wrong. I'm telling you the God honest truth to me. And even when I met her, I was just like, it's fine.
But get this, Ally also made some disturbing statements that seem to predict everything that's happening now. She warned followers on social media to keep their eyes and minds open and ask questions when the cover-ups start.
There's ways that this is about to go. I think a lot of you guys are everybody's like, we're ready. We're ready until it's happening. And then everybody's like, well, I wasn't ready. Yeah. There's gonna be a lot of that. There's no other way to get ready. There's no other way to prepare. There's no protocol for what's about to happen. The world is going to crumble when they see this next arrest. In the meantime, there's going to be deaths, distractions, and fires to hide evidence. Watch for it, ask questions, demand answers. You know who's on those flight logs. You do. You know who should be arrested. You all do. You know that laptop from hell is real. You know that the black book is real. You know Ghislaine Maxwell's customers are who everybody is watching in the everyday news, including those.
Ally dropped this bombshell prediction that had everyone's jaws on the floor. She warned us we'd start seeing mysterious fires, explosions, and accidents popping up out of nowhere. She claimed these would be the perfect smokescreen for politicians and Hollywood elites to hide their dirty secrets.
Watch for those fires. Explosions make fires too. Explosions make accidental fires too. And then, oops, we don't know how that happened. And then you look into it and you see that it's tied to something that's tied to something that's tied to something that's tied to trafficking. And then you realize, oh, it wasn't just an explosion.
And now Ally's back on social media basically saying, I told you so. She's pointing out how these fires suspiciously started right when investigators were closing in on Diddy's alleged accomplices. The timing, too perfect to be just chance, according to her.
Burning, is it? Because didn't I tell y'all that? Didn't I tell y'all there will be an accidental explosion? Accidental fire? And the next thing you know, celebrities' homes would be on fire. Things would be on fire. I pray for the people in its path. But I also pray that it exposes the things that it needs to expose.
The drama just keeps unfolding. Several of Diddy's inner circle, including Jay-Z and Jennifer Lopez, are now caught up in these explosive lawsuits. Here's the scandalous part. The feds are actually reopening that infamous 1999 NYC club shooting. Remember that night? Well, apparently, Jay-Z allegedly passed a weapon to Diddy during that chaotic altercation where people got hurt. And J-Lo, the investigators are questioning whether she told the whole truth about what happened that night. You know what they say. If someone's not honest about one thing, what else might they be hiding? But the bombshells don't stop there with Jay-Z. He's been named in this absolutely shocking lawsuit involving an alleged incident with a 13-year-old at an after-party following the 2000 VMAs. The details are absolutely horrifying.
As you probably already know, a lawsuit had been filed against Jay-Z, aka Sean Carter, by an unnamed woman alleging that Jay-Z had committed several acts of violence, etc., SA, against her when she wasn't of age. The court had provisionally allowed the plaintiff to continue with the lawsuit without revealing her name, and then today again issued an order with respect to the anonymity issue and some other issues which are a doozy. This order is several pages long, so forgive me for when I read from it. The court noted that in deciding whether the plaintiff may proceed anonymously, it would balance the plaintiff's interest in anonymity against both the public interest in disclosure and any prejudice to the defendant, as is the case law.
Of course, Jay-Z's legal team is fighting back hard, completely denying these allegations. It's turned into this massive legal battle between his lawyers and the alleged victims' representatives. But here's what's really mind-blowing. The list of people supposedly involved in Diddy's operations reads like a who's who of Hollywood. We're talking athletes, A-list celebrities, politicians, and even religious leaders. With this many powerful people potentially involved, is it any wonder that extreme measures might be taken to keep everything under wraps? And just when you thought things couldn't get more suspicious, videos start circulating showing random explosions around LA. Even some of our favorite celebrities are speaking out about how something feels off about these fires. Chris Brown took to Instagram with this cryptic message: "Someone starting these fires don't add up." The plot thickens with more celebrities joining the conversation. Henry Winkler didn't hold back, posting about an alleged arsonist in LA and wishing them to feel the pain they've caused. Peter Murgatroyd from Dancing with the Stars shared this chilling tweet about 5 mysterious men in ski masks supposedly starting fires across Los Angeles and Southern California. But what really got everyone talking was when neuroscientist Andrew Huberman shared something absolutely shocking. A photo of people standing suspiciously close to what looked like a freshly started fire in Santa Monica. He wrote, "People are lighting fire in otherwise non-burning areas of LA saw this happen firsthand at 302 Pico in Santa Monica, called it in, and the fire department and police responded." Can you believe it? He's literally telling people to stay vigilant and report any suspicious activity. Now, here's where things get really interesting. People are starting to notice some eerie similarities between these fires and the 2018 Malibu fires. What's the connection, you ask? Well, both times, certain celebrity homes were completely destroyed, while others nearby were mysteriously untouched. But that's not even the creepiest part. Both fires happened right when major Hollywood scandals were making headlines. Back in 2018, it was the Harvey Weinstein scandal. And now it's all about Diddy. Enter Katt Williams again. And trust me, he's been connecting some seriously disturbing dots. Remember when he was one of the first to expose that shocking truth about the baby oil found in Diddy's houses? He revealed it wasn't just regular baby oil. It was allegedly laced with substances that would paralyze victims, leaving them helpless.
It ain't that much ass shit in the world. Everybody know that. They put the drugs in the baby oil. You thinking you getting a massage, bitch? You can't even get up. That's why God gave me eczema. I can't even use baby oil.
After Katt dropped that bomb, more accusers came forward with similar stories about the laced baby oil. Word on the street is that when the feds tested it, they found traces of GHB and tranquilizers. Katt's been super vocal about government cover-ups and how Hollywood is basically this massive propaganda machine.
Information is what is limited. And whole industries can be built upon your ability to know how certain things are going to hit certain people. And this was before we called things promotion and marketing. You know what I mean? That's Hollywood is not really there to entertain you. Like, that's great that that happens, but propaganda is something that is important to all civilizations.
But here's the most explosive part. Katt is claiming that some major political figures are tangled up in this Diddy scandal too. According to him, these powerful people would literally burn LA to the ground just to keep their dark secrets hidden. The big question everyone's asking now is Katt onto something huge here, or is this just another wild conspiracy theory? What do you think? Are these fires really just a coincidence, or is there something more sinister going on behind the scenes? Like, seriously, stick around because this story is far from over, and trust me, you won't want to miss what happens next. The truth about these LA fires might be even more shocking than anyone could have imagined. This whole situation is like something out of a thriller movie, but it's happening right here, right now, in our beloved Los Angeles. Are we really seeing a massive cover-up unfold before our eyes? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure. Nothing about these fires seems normal, and people are demanding answers.